resume the meeting, I think, here.
Call the meeting to order. Turn it over to Drew to talk about property tax mill levy, permissive medical mill levy, revenue budget, and expense budget.
Okay, so since our last budget meeting, we've received our certified taxable values for the year. That's the one handout I handed out to everybody before the meeting today. Our total taxable value for the city is $4,714,359. The newly taxable property is $37,132. And then the total incremental value, taxable value, is $1,161,940. So if you look at the first page after the budget meeting is our summary sheet that we do provide every year. This is kind of an example in comparison to prior years. So the total amount that we can levy this year, which I didn't get that sheet into everyone's packet, but the total that we can levy is $199.78, according to the mill levy calculation sheet that the state provides to us. So $199.78, and the total dollar amount is $709,702 or 703, depending on rounding. So $709,702. If we divide that out, how I got it to work so that all funds were properly funded for the year is general fund got 110.68, comprehensive insurance got 10.45. Public safety got 51.45, PERS 13.6, and then health insurance 13.6. And then you can see the estimated amount of taxes based off of that projected amount of mills. So general fund 393,182, comprehensive insurance 37,123, public safety 182,772. And then PERS and health insurance was $48,313 even. And then down below, kind of our extra, either voted on levies or permissive levy. So that 10-year government review levy is over with. This fiscal year, we don't get to levy that again. The permissive medical that I highlighted was 41.5 mills. So 147,425 would be the total for this year. Last year we levied just under 40, and I think it was about 140,000. So it's going up roughly 7,000 this year if we go with that amount of mill levies for the permissive medical fund. So the total with that 41.5 would be 241.28 mills. And then 1.5 times the value of our net taxable value is 7,072, which that dollar amount would go to that police training and pension fund, and then the Fire Department Relief Association. Each of those would get the 7,072. And then the reason I bumped up the permissive medical, if you look on the next page, the determination of permissive levy for group benefits. Our original year, the original year was 2009, not 2000, but just a second. So in 2009, our cost for governmental fund health insurance was $52,525.22. In 2026, just the budgeted amount for governmental funds is $447,135. So per employee, that's $2,070.07. Our taxable value again is net taxable value of $3,552,419, and then the base is the $67,532.43 with this year's amount of actual health care and the amount of employees we have now compared to them. So the amount that we can levy is $379,602.57, which comes out to 106.86 mills. And I'm obviously saying we should do way less than that and just do the 41.5. The past few years, since we've had the police department, we really haven't had a full set of employees on that health insurance. So, and at this point, point in the year, we're already 2 months into it. I don't know if we'll have a full deck the entire year, so I don't think we need to mill more than what I'm proposing at this time. Next year at this time, we might have to reassess this, and that 447,000, I doubt will go down. And if we have a full set of police officers, the amount that we levy for permissive medical is probably going to have to go up substantially, would be my guess. But I think this year we would be fine with 41.5, which is that $147,425 approximately of property taxes. Any questions so far? And everybody's all right with the breakdown, allocation of those property taxes?
If we bring more police officers on mid-year, you have left enough in here, you think it'll cover it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for 1 year I think it would, but next year we definitely have to reassess it and bump it up even further.
Okay.
But unlike water and sewer and things like that, the government funds are supposed to just break even, so I don't know that we really need to levy more than that at this time
Okay.
to get the amount that we need to provide health insurance for this year.
No, I think we ought to do like you said, with the 1.5.
Okay, if no other discussion there, I'll move into the capital improvements, which is in between the property taxes and then revenues. So everything should be updated, but if you don't see something that we have discussed in the past, please let me know so I can make sure to get it in here. For example, the capital improvements by category, the visitor center site should be updated with the current amount for that project. And then the bathrooms at the Plaza in Wilson, after receiving that tourism asset grant for $75,000, I did bump up the bathroom amount. Mike was getting about $85,000 to $90,000 for each bathroom from when he was having that spec'd out. So I think we might have to do one bathroom this year and do the next one next year.
I thought the bathrooms were like a 2-in-1. When you were pricing them out, it was like two, like a male and female in one unit.
No, 2 individual units.
Oh.
Same building.
Okay.
Same building, just 2 different rooms.
But that's just one, like with, it has 2 rooms as one of them?
Toilet and sink in one room, toilet and sink in the other room.
And that's 1 unit for 90,000?
Yeah, for 85 to 95, depending on what type of finishes and stuff you want. That's cinder block, not stick built.
Scratch built though, not a modular unit?
No,
Okay.
it would be built in place. And I think it does have a small utility room in between.
Mechanical room?
Yeah, mechanical room.
Mike, did you check with that precast place in Billings for that does those precast concrete walls, like the walls we're getting for the intake and all that, and see if they can make a bathroom like that?
I haven't checked with them lately, but they were actually more expensive.
Really?
Precast. When we did Hymet, they were quite a bit. And it doesn't seem like they were making anything smaller like we wanted in this
No.
far.
Okay.
But I haven't checked lately, I could check again.
I just think that should be cost effective. That's why they're doing it out there, you know?
I don't know.
Well, there's probably nothing in the walls though, in like bathrooms, you'd have pipes and they'd have to be hollow.
Okay.
That might be an issue. Maybe for the inside wall, but the outside walls could
Just
probably
like
be
that
too
bathroom
much.
we dug down there at Hymet,
Yeah,
it's all concrete.
correct. For those kind of.
Yeah. But,
Okay, moving on, nothing changed in fire department. Parks Capital Projects Fund, We also got another grant, an AARP grant, to help put in lights and some sidewalks in the plaza. So that's the $19,075 that you see under that category that we didn't have before. And the sidewalk would go close to where that bathroom's gonna be, so we don't have to provide as much of that ourselves. The grant will pay for a portion of that. Crawford Avenue, 2nd to 3rd, that amount's updated to $142,305. Chip seal and resurfacing, the top one is out of the gas tax fund, and the bottom one is from street maintenance, the $100,000. And then stormwater, we have replacing stormwater lines for $200,000 that we had discussed, and then $26,750 for 25% of that sewer/stormwater inspection camera. A total of $226,750 for stormwater. And then Crawford, main replacement for water, that didn't change, nor did the dump truck. Same with the sewer fund. Box truck, I don't know if we want to change this. Mike had said he's gotten bids previously for $180,000 for the box truck, and that's brand new. We probably could bump that number down. I don't know that we need to spend or budget to spend that much. And then $300,000 for the land purchase. Crawler loader didn't change, in the landfill. And I think that's about it for CIP that I really wanted to cover, unless anyone has any questions after reviewing that report.
Any questions for Drew on that?
Okay. Revenues, I'm not going to go through all this like we have before, line by line, but some of the bigger ones, property taxes should be updated. And then I bumped up personal property taxes and the delinquent amount. The past few years, we've been getting quite a bit more than what was budgeted, so I bumped that up to reflect that average. And then under licenses and permits in the general fund, did not have things like animal licenses, chicken permit, other miscellaneous permits, so I put that in there. Now that animal control will be under the umbrella of the general fund again. Let's see, and then intergovernmental revenues. There's another one I want to talk about. Excise, marijuana excise tax, that was bumped up to $21,000 to more accurately reflect what was received in 2026 fiscal year, which was $21,242. Oil and gas production, I did bump up $100, it looks like, and then gambling machine permits $250. Other charges for services, just the miscellaneous collections, went up $75. Let's see, fines and forfeitures, so it looks like I originally had $51,500 budgeted, but I bumped that up another $25,000 to $76,500. And then a couple lines down, the city court admin or attorney fees for $4,000. I got another $5,000 added to that for a total of $9,000 for the year. So overall, in the general fund, there was adjustments, an increase in revenue of $48,017. Comprehensive insurance, so $37,123 for property taxes. And then the state entitlement we had already talked about, that amount's the same that we talked about previously. Law enforcement, public safety fund. The property taxes was adjusted to match what I had discussed previously, $182,772. And then also the SRO contract with the school district was removed for $135,500. So the total net decrease for law enforcement was $135,814. Most of the rest of these were just adjusted for property taxes and the change from getting the certified taxable value. Let's see. street maintenance was adjusted to reflect that 15% increase. So $437,936 total for that. But I did adjust the interfund transfer. The past few years, I think we've only transferred about 15,000 total from the general fund to the street maintenance. So I didn't feel like we really needed to continue the 30,000 budgeted number. Curb and gutter, there was no change. Police training, that does need to be updated for the new number, 7,072. Gas tax didn't change. Let's see. So under Fund 2885, which is on page 20 of the revenue report, I did add the grant that we received, that tourism asset grant for $75,000. So you'll see the wayfinding grant, and then also that $75,000 for the plaza bathroom. And then nothing changed in the Montana Tourism Fund. It's just for pilot grant and what the city and or others are contributing to that grant. Let's see. Nothing changed with the TIF district. I kind of want to leave some of the extra revenue in that fund in case some of the old taxes do get paid back. We just did receive our property taxes for fiscal year 26 from the power plant in the month of August, July, excuse me. So we just received them a few days ago. The two SID funds, there's no change, 120 or 121. Same thing with the capital improvement funds. There shouldn't be much change there. Water fund was updated to reflect the rate increase that we've discussed at previous meetings. So that increase bumps it up to $778,605 from what it was before. So the total changes there are $26,051 for a total of $971,500. And then no change on page 39 to curb stops. Page 40 for sewer. Again, no changes to that. We just have the main grants and debt left to draw on for that big project, and they're all reflected in the balances you see. Solid waste garbage, there was an adjustment there, the main assessments, to match what we're going to send out in September. So that adjustment was a negative $11,300. So $660,220 total for garbage collection. And then landfill, there's no changes to the landfill fund. Total revenue of $746,416. And then again, no change to FDRA. There is one adjustment I do see that needs to be made, is the $7,072 for that mill amount that the state provides through the FDRA. Any questions there?
The landfill didn't have any changes, even though we discontinued our contract for the coal ash?
I already have those numbers reflected in there. I had those in the balances from the previous meeting, previous budget meeting.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Looks good.
For expenses, the next part of your packet. I don't wanna go through everything here since there's obviously a lot more expenditure accounts than there are revenue accounts. Did anybody see anything that stuck out that I didn't catch from any of our last meetings? Everything we've discussed regarding enforcement of animals should be reflected now. And then code enforcement and building inspector. There's also some added to parks supplies for the benches that we had discussed purchasing, kind of complement the other ones that have been purchased.
For all the parks. For all the parks.
For the park budget?
Chris?
Yeah, so it's in it. Park budget?
Yeah.
No other comments there. Group health was probably the group health and permissive medical is what I made the most adjustments to. Just gathering all the payroll information we needed and plugging that in as far as health insurance and what health insurance will cost. So the adjustments to group health, for example, were $38,111. So the total of that fund is $167,964. And then permissive medical was $162,625. And it doesn't look like there's any changes there, but I reflected those in the preliminary budget numbers between law enforcement services and law enforcement administration. So $162,625 is the total amount of health insurance costs for permissive medical. Any questions, comments, concerns? Let's see, seeing down there, not a lot of other changes were made. Street maintenance, there was a few. So page 22. To bump up our expense and make everything match for state code, having 75% of your budgeted expenditures meet the minimum amount that you can assess for the properties. We bumped up wages for $10,000 and then employer contributions as well. And then also the roads and streets, so the street sealing, chip sealing that we had discussed earlier during capital improvements. So that's $100,000 now, moved up from $90,000. So the total street maintenance budget is $583,914. Questions, comments there? Okay. Gas tax did have some adjustments to it. For example, the 142,305 is updated to match what our CIP and that bid says. And then the 42,659 is the chip sealing and that project we did on Center Avenue by the railroad. So the total gas tax fund expenditures for the year $417,905. And then Department of Commerce grant, so that's the one with the tag grant for the plaza. That's $75,000 for improvements there, and then $30,000 below for wayfinding. And then Montana Tourism Fund. So I did have to adjust that a little with what we know the cost will be as far as the construction of that visitor information site. We also know that the architectural and/or general contractor amount's going down since they aren't required to be on site as much. So that number went down to 54. 577, and the total construction went to 832,310 for the pilot grant. Nothing on the next page. No change on page 30 either. 431. Cops grant didn't change at all. Victims assistance. Let's see.
Drew, when does the COPS grant expire?
The end of next month. Those funds will expire.
Okay.
TIF district also didn't change. Let's see, so capital improvements. The only thing that I really adjusted here, looks like I actually need to update one number. I'll note that. One thing I did change is, I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago, we passed a resolution that stated 20% of any incoming revenue into the capital improvements fund would be dedicated just for street projects alone.
Yes.
So the amount that we have saved up at the end of fiscal year 26, after I made that entry, is $46,233. I think there's some change there, but I just rounded it. So we could use $46,233 for street construction or something along those lines as a match if we wanted to. So I just went ahead and budgeted that, so we kind of had that number. Even if it's not used, we know what that number is by looking at the budget. Police department didn't change. And then the fire department. Looks like I missed a number in here in the parks department, so I'll get that updated. Anything else anyone else see within that budget? Okay, I don't think much change in the water fund either. All the wages and everything should be updated. Sewer fund, I also don't think there's much change within this department either. Solid waste, garbage collection, same thing. And then landfill, same with that as well. Any questions overall? Okay, that's all I had, Clayton.
Okay. Thanks, Drew. Thanks again for all the hard work you do. There's lots and lots of numbers there. I don't know how you see it. Well, the numbers running through your head.
They don't count cheap.
Don't count cheap, yeah. All right, thank you very much. No other questions, I guess we adjourn the finance and budget committee meeting. I think we can move over to the landfill committee. Michael, did we ever get any word back from Barry about DEQ?
We have not at this time.
Yeah, that's kind of, you know, the information that we needed to discuss, I guess, had more relevance if, in talking about the ash sale, if we had him get permission from the DEQ for doing what we had in mind. So at this time, there probably really wouldn't be much on the ash sale. You being able to use as putting garbage in until we get permission from DEQ and say the tribe and
Everybody else down the
everybody
line.
else, yeah. And then another item that we had talked about was the purchase of the land next to the existing, expansion area of the landfill, but I don't know, everybody's feelings towards that. You know, the information that I've gotten in talking with Barry and Mike is that if we did, use the ash cell to start dumping garbage on and use phase 2 of the other portion of the ash cell, would save us a lot of money in that sense, but would make the landfill virtually usable for 100 years without spending money over in the landfill expansion area that was licensed in 2004. Because the existing settling ponds and all that are in place in phase 2 of the ash cells. It would make more sense to go that route rather than the other way. If they're not, the power plant isn't going to produce any more ash if they're not. So we might as well use it. But whether you want to spend money in purchasing land, I guess that would be up to the committee if they're.
Depends on what we bring the land for.
Yeah, if it's economical or whatever, it makes sense to do it. It would always be okay to have it, and it's not gonna hurt anything. Other than that, that would be about all that I would have on landfill. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions on that land? Okay.
I
Basically-
adjourned the landfill meeting.
We can't do anything till we know anything about
Not
that.
really, it's
Yeah.
not until we have more information. Yeah, I was
We can't do
expecting to
nothing.
hear from him already, but DEQ is kind of a
Slow down.
slow deal.
So you'll tell us when you hear more?
Yeah.
We can have another one of these meetings?
Yeah, I'll make another meeting when we have more information. I did supply those pictures so you kinda have an idea of what we're talking about at the last meeting. And that would be it for now.
Okay, we'll adjourn at 6:18. We'll go ahead and adjourn we'll begin our regular council meeting here at 6:30. Okay, at 6:30, if we could, we'll call the council meeting to order, and if you could stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. Mayor is here. Stephen Hopes.
Here.
George Toyne.
Here.
Clayton Greer.
Here.
Jeremy Krebs.
Here.
Chris Sharp.
Here.
And E.J. Espinoza.
Here.
All right, we'll move into public hearing. Public hearings on August 4th, 2026. Any additions or corrections to that?
Make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve public hearing on August 4th, 2026. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll move down to let's move across here to council meeting minutes on August 4th, 2026. Any additions to those?
Move to accept.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve council meeting minutes of 8/4/26. Any further discussion on that? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Sewer and Water Committee meeting, also August 4th, 2026.
I made the motion to accept.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the Sewer and Water Committee meeting minutes of August 4th, 26. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. And then Budget and Finance Committee meeting back from July 14th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the Budget and Finance meeting on July 14th of 26. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. And we'll move into claims.
Make a motion to approve claims 34151 to 34207. Dollar amount $1,218,487.21.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept claims number 34151 to 34207 in the amount of $1,218,487.21. Any further discussion on that? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, claims are approved. Now let's move into public comment for agenda items. Anything on the agenda, and then it'd be up to 3 minutes. Each person would want to speak.
Marijuana thing.
Come on up if you want to say something.
I thought we already had that figured out, that wasn't gonna go.
Yeah, that's in my announcements. I'll cover that. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other public comment? Okay. Seeing none, move into, I've got a few things here on mayor report. Update on our chief of police candidate. Told everybody that we'd be within 2 weeks here, and we had a meeting scheduled with police commission to vote to officially approve him for hire. And he had called me Monday night, just the day before the meeting. They had a major event in their family, a medical thing that happened, and he's not able to come right now. So I have some more information that I can't really share, but it's not a hard no either. So there needs to be some more communication. So I wanted to give him a little bit of time to get on the other side of that. So that's a work in progress.
So during that process, are you going to keep interviewing other people?
No, not right now. No, I'm gonna give him a little bit of time, and then I'll discuss that with him as far as what if there's if he foresees the ability to be able to do that in the near future. So yeah. I got a letter from Sean Day. I'll read to you guys. He wasn't able to make it tonight, so he wanted me to read his letter. Dear Mayor and members of Hardin City Council, on behalf of the event organizers, participants, and spectators, I'm writing to express our sincere appreciation for your support of the 2026 Crow Fair Rodeo, Indian Relay, and Flat Track races. Thank you specifically for providing the city water truck for the event. Your assistance was vital in managing dust control, maintaining excellent track conditions, and ensuring the safety of all our riders and horses. The success of community events like this relies heavily on strong civic partnerships. We truly appreciate the City of Hardin's dedication to supporting local sports and community gatherings. Thank you again for your time, resources, and continued support. Sincerely, Sean Day Old Elk and Crow Racing Committee. So I thought that was cool. He had told me yesterday, they made a comment that it was one of the best tracks they had this year. So that worked out well. You guys approved that last meeting. So next on the list from me, I wanted to address something just with the public and council. I just want to focus on trying to refrain from sidebar conversations so we can give everybody respect that they deserve. When people are speaking, we've had some issues in the last, I've noticed the last few meetings that we've had different conversations going on. It's really hard for everybody else to focus. So if you have something, bring it to public comment. If you don't have something, I really would appreciate, I think everybody in this room mostly would appreciate not having to hear whisperings and murmurings while everybody else is trying to listen to either a presenter or council has questions, somebody's explaining something, our attorney's explaining something, all those kind of things. We've got to be able to hear that as part of this meeting. We want to maintain a level of efficiency. And that didn't happen, and I'll say last meeting was probably the worst. So the very last meeting we just had. So I just wanted to address that. I'm not going to point fingers at anybody. I just would like to see that.
We know who we are.
What's that?
We know who we are.
Oh. I didn't say anything about that, did I?
No, you
But I just wanted to address it.
I
So
have a comment with
Yeah, and sometimes we need to do better at making sure they're right
If you
there
can't
too.
hear, let us know.
You need-
Yeah.
I don't want-
Yeah.
in the past. Can't hear well.
On a even more serious note, just wanted to mention that we wanted to honor Judge Sikora, who just recently passed away, and just condolences go out to his family. And he spent many years serving our city, and we are grateful for that. So I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that, make a comment about it. It was sad to hear of his passing. And then also, this is more for council, but as far as the claims go, just initialing claims, it's hard to get these packets around everybody. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to get them, but I think it needs to happen that that council come in at some point, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Friday afternoon, probably, maybe after 3 would be good. And then Monday or Tuesday, certainly, because nothing's going to be added to them. Probably after Friday afternoon, it would go to the next meeting, so you wouldn't have to worry about catching up on something on Tuesday. Because anything I'm initialing would be for the next meeting anyway, if I'm initialing something on Monday or Tuesday. So, and then also, like closed meeting minutes, if we have a closed meeting, should be the ideal goal is for everybody to come in, be able to see the claims, address things ahead of the meeting so that we don't have these stacks of claims, and then be approving them sometimes mid-swing here. If not, you almost have to just abstain from the vote. So the claims are not going to be here next time. We're going to just have them over at City Hall. Why don't you guys come over if you have questions for Drew, for Michael, for me, or Drew or Michael.
Or Drew.
Yeah, for claims, yeah. But make sure to review those. That's kind of part of what we're elected to do is, put in that time and go through it so that we can see stuff and just the diligence of that, signing claims ahead of time. I think it's important. So I just wanted to announce that. And I think that's all I had for a mayor report for now. Committee reports, personnel committee, and then city policy manual. So we're going to look at reviewing that. I'd encourage council to pick up if you have a packet of that, or if you have in your drawer, go through that. See if there's any changes maybe you'd make a note of. If you think maybe something could be changed, because we'd like to make some reviews. But if you're going to do that, there's no point in just in addressing 3 pages and then addressing it later. So sometime in the next few weeks, maybe a couple weeks, if you guys could look at those and see if there's any changes you guys think would be good to talk about, and then we can have a committee meeting on that and discuss that and make some changes for that. I'm sure there are updates that could be done. So that's all I had for that. Sewer and water, and then streets and alleys. Steve.
Okay, I am going to let you know I have not had a chance to talk with Michael.
Okay.
So I'm going to just let Michael handle it tonight. I slipped in today to sign the documents, but he was out to eat. I mean,
Yeah.
they got to have their lunch too.
Well,
And I
yeah.
had just got back to the building, so.
Okay. On both of those.
Yes, on
Okay.
both those.
All right. Law enforcement, George.
I don't have anything further than us being on standby with the chief.
Okay. Parks and playgrounds, Jeremy.
I don't have a whole lot to do. I did want to give credit where credit is due. Thank you, Michael, Marcus, and the rest of the city crew for getting the parks back up and looking great. I mean, I think that they're looking really good right now. Everything's green. I see, some of the places where the sprinklers were hitting them or they were broke. It's really good now. I think that you guys did a really good job getting them back to where they could be, especially with it being July and August, the 2 hottest months. I mean, whatever you guys did, thank you for doing it because they're looking good. So thank you, Michael. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Jeremy.
Did we get cameras in the parks and
I believe that, Michael, didn't you order some cameras last Friday?
Yeah, so we haven't got those delivered yet.
So, whenever they do get delivered, they're gonna be working on them to put them into, around the splash pad, to hopefully,
Can we get that?
kinda
Bucky
keep everything, if something is happening over there, bikes I've seen a lot of stuff on Facebook, bikes driving all over it whenever people are trying to go through the splash pad,
The one that they started with?
Mhm.
Yeah,
other.
the footpad, I like to see that button on the side of the building.
It's impossible.
It's,
That's all designed
That's
into
all
that
they
system,
turned it
right?
into.
I don't know. I looked inside the building and
No.
it looked like we could put a,
I don't know how it's wired. I mean, does it not work how it is?
no, the kids that are not in there, they walk by or they even
I'll step on it even though they're.
ride the bike across it and just,
Oh, yeah.
and it comes on and nobody's in it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's one thing I'd like to
Well,
see, I
they
guess,
do
as
the
well.
same thing, they go push the button and drive away.
Since I mean, maybe this winter when we have everything shut off, could we install just a meter there? In line
water
for me,
meter?
a water meter just to
Yeah.
see, no, I mean, I'm not saying billing it, just curious on.
I could tell you how much it uses. A
Yeah.
lot.
Well, not
Cause
just that,
there's no
there-
room for, it would require a 4-inch meter.
Yeah, it'd be kind of expensive to put a
And that's
meter
like
in there, I think.
$9,000
Yeah.
just for the meter.
Anything else to report?
No, that's what I have. Just thank you, Michael.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I've driven by a few and like where it was, yeah, it was.
Especially Hyman,
Really
that
good.
thing looks
Yes.
nice and green. I drove past it
Yep.
5 times a day, so.
Cause they can
Very good.
tell you how much they use if they pump so much water and they have, check all the meters and they can tell you the difference.
Yeah.
South Park's got a meter.
Yeah.
Clayton, anything for finance?
Finance, we just went over the committee meeting this evening and discussed all of those all the paperwork that Drew had lined out. Same with landfill, really nothing to report this time on landfill other than what we had discussed at the committee meeting.
Mhm.
That's what it.
Okay, anything for the impact advisory?
In fact, no, we just had a meeting and discussed those issues. Nothing really to report.
Okay, resolutions and ordinances, Chris.
Nothing at this time.
All right, and then economic development, George.
Since our last council meeting, Tina attended Southeastern Montana Executive Board meeting virtually and attended Energy Open Conference in Colstrip. She is also wrapping up the bid request for the city's wayfinding project. Tina hosted representatives from the Montana Department of Commerce, city employees, and the community members to discuss the city's involvement in the Montana Main Street program and the Community Technical Assistance program. She has also been researching 4 properties that were previously owned by the city of Hardin. HRDC currently owns the properties and is looking to give them away now due to the length of time they have remained vacant. Today, Tina submitted a request to HRDC's board asking that the 4 properties be returned to the city at no cost. If returned, the properties could provide additional opportunity for future infill and redevelopment and complement the city's recently completed infill and redevelopment of housing study by Cushing Terrell. So that's kind of exciting.
Cool, thank you, George.
Riley.
Yes.
I have one more question for Michael. Just regarding, what did you guys find in the drain over there? Why I was getting back to, I just haven't heard at all.
So we found about a 2-foot chunk of angle iron, probably 2 by 2 with all the holes in it. It was rusted out pretty bad, like it's been in there, and a kid's shoe at the first corner. The next corner had a bunch of chunks of cinder block, probably about that big. 5 or 6 pieces of cinder block and some pop cans were stuck in the next corner. Once we got those out, everything's been working really well since.
Great. Thank you.
The nice thing about that is it's old stuff, it's not like, fresh, yeah.
Just looking at it, I think it's been dropped in there over the years as a skating rink has not been used.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything, and then that sand would start to build up on that, anything small, that's what would stop it up.
Thanks, Michael. So next, petitions and communications. City County Planning Board recommendations. So it's for an ordinance revision for marijuana, and we just had meetings on this, if you guys remember, about month and a half ago. I wanted to include it in the packet to let you know that they had met on it and had approved for a change, but we also had the meeting to, I know the motion was made to keep it the same, seconded and voted on and approved that way, to keep it the same with the two. So, but wanted to make sure and include that in the petitions and communications for you guys. That was.
Did he come back in though?
No, you
Just
went to
one
City
day
County
to-
Planning Board.
Yeah.
Huh?
You went to the City County Planning Board
Right.
instead of coming here, and they recommended to approve.
Can I ask Jordan a question?
Yeah. Jordan, can you hear us okay? Okay.
Hey Jordan, do we need, since we do have this recommendation from the City County Planning Board, do we have to move on it, or can we just go by what we had already previously talked about in past meetings?
So the mayor and I had talked about that, and we discussed kind of the general principle behind meetings, Robert's Rules of Order, and the like is once something is voted upon, you don't really bring it back immediately. So that's why it's on the petitions and communications. But we wanted you to know that it come back. If council does want it to be on the next agenda, I'm totally fine with that. But I didn't think it was appropriate for a legislative body to have it come back nearly identical when council had already voted on it, already decided to have another entity forcing it back onto our agenda again and again and again. So it was a decision the mayor made, and under my advice that let's just put it on there so you can see it, that it came back. But if you guys want it on the agenda the next time, certainly you could request that from the mayor.
Okay. I feel like we've already voted on it, just like you guys said. I think that we're good to not move on it or put it on the agenda again.
Okay.
I'm in favor of that.
Next, City County Planning Board minutes of July 13th, 2026 is also in your packet. And the last thing is, or on the communications, was this is not a long-term thing. This was just for the first Tuesday in October, I'm going to be out of town. So I've asked Jeremy to run that meeting. So, yeah. And this is not something I would normally plan. It's a training thing that was on that date. So something through work. So
We'll let you go on that.
through the school. Yeah, I would normally plan anything myself that would fall after.
Do we need to make motions on those two previous City County Planning Board minutes and the previous recommendations?
I don't.
No, there's one on for new business. The one on new business will be, and actually we'll go into that when we get there. But no, there'd be no motion for this. Is just communications. So unfinished business. We'll move into that. Northern Chiropractic handicap sign. I don't want to put you on the spot, but Jordan, did you want to speak on that? Did you have anything to add to this for the handicap sign?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the research done. It's
Okay.
on my list of things to do. I'm sorry, I don't have anything for this council.
Okay, that's all right. I know last time it was, when we talked about it was brought up with this ADA, but that would be, I know Jordan's recommendation last time was if council was in favor of it, that it would be, Jordan can correct me if I'm wrong, but basically a motion that would say if there was an ADA issue that's not part of the city, if there's an ADA issue, that can be dealt with Northern Chiropractic between them. And so it's on here. I don't see a reason you guys couldn't.
I think without Jordan's research though, it should go back on the table and not table it till Jordan does his research to make sure that their city is not tied to anything.
Okay.
I think that, couldn't we make a motion to approve it, but anything that's dealing with the ADA, any costs associated with it, if any ramps have to be made bigger, if anything has to be painted, if any signage has to go up, that needs to be the responsibility of the business.
Well, and that's what Jordan recommended last
Yeah.
time, and then this whole
Is
can of
anybody
worms.
against having a handicap parking spot in front or on the side of his business if he pays for it all? I mean, it is his
It's
business.
his
He can-
business.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't-
putting in the sign, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
city's not doing any of that. It's
Yeah.
just the approval to take up the space on the sidewalk to designate.
Yeah.
That's really the only say that the city's involved in, as I understand it.
And I wouldn't have a problem with that.
So make a motion.
All right, then I make the motion that we give George permission to follow the ADA.
Well, I'd state your motion that you're approving the space for that, for
Yeah,
a
just
sidewalk,
the
if that's
space.
what you're in favor of.
Yes, that's what I'm in favor of, is making the motion to give George the space to put his handicap sign up in one parking area
Painted blue curb.
for
Okay?
and
the
appropriate
handicap.
handicap emblem on the street
Yeah.
itself.
And any cost associated with it?
That's all on him.
Okay.
And you really wouldn't have to paint the sign that typically is on most parking lots. You can just paint the curb blue and that
Yeah, and that's it.
facilitates the
School
same.
does the
Whatever
same
ADA
thing.
tells you to do.
Yeah,
Right.
because the school does the same thing. They just paint the curb blue for the.
So is your motion to then, for
To give him.
For Northern Chiropractic, would deal with anything, if there's an ADA compliance
That's all
issue,
on him.
that would be between him and
Yeah.
ADA compliance.
Jordan, before this is approved, if we approve this and it goes through, we approve this saying that we're not responsible for anything, but when he goes through ADA and ADA comes back and it says, well, the city is actually tied to that, does this come back on us, or is like, well, we already washed our hands of this?
That's part of the research I'm gonna have to do, and it may involve, something in writing with Northern Chiropractic to indemnify, even if, somebody does come after us, that he will step in and defend and indemnify, in that scenario.
Okay.
You may speak, Jordan. That should have been on camera, though.
And I would just like to see that, being as, has that been past practices, and does the city have a policy for that, for all past parking spaces and future, if we're gonna ask for that?
So what do we do with the school? School does theirs.
They got ADA.
Yeah, schools.
They've got ADA restrooms and it's.
I don't think Jordan heard you.
Jordan, I was just speaking as Northern Chiropractic, and I was just wondering about past policy on this and future policy if we're setting precedents, and I'd like to see that. But again, in my research, I really think it is the city's liability. If the city allows that, it would be the city's liability if someone sued for that. But all the city's liability is the space available, and is the curb handicapped accessible, which the corner is currently a handicapped accessible site already, and all we're doing is reserving a space for that person to park. There is clarification, like Clayton brought up last time, there's a difference between a handicap parking spot and a van designated handicap parking spot. I am not asking for a van handicap parking spot, I'm asking for a handicap parking spot. So it wouldn't need an extra wide curb for them to unload a wheelchair or anything like that. It would just have to be a designated space for them to park next to a handicapped accessible curb, which is available at the corner. That's what I'm asking for. And basically, the way I read the rules in the law, and Jordan would have to read that and confirm it, is that all the city's liable for is there handicapped access to the curb. After that, that's all the city's liability is. That's my reading of the law. I'm just a layman, so. But that's.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. Some good questions, good comments there. I'd be happy to meet with you in person prior to the next meeting and we can go through it. Sounds like you're much more prepared than I am for that. Just my thoughts and ideas on the indemnification. Not saying that's the way it has to go. Of course, that's subject to council approval. But I gotta dive into it more, I just don't have the answers today.
So would your recommendation be to table this, Jordan?
And I would be okay with that. I would say we do that and give Jordan time to do that and me and Jordan to meet.
Okay, there's
I
a
can't make a
motion.
motion to that.
You're the
public.
Okay,
I'm the public, but
he's got a
Let me
motion.
withdraw my motion,
Okay,
so we can go with AJ's tabling of it, and I'll second it,
Yep. I'll make a motion to table.
second.
okay. So for now, the motion's been made and seconded to table this until further information from Jordan on that regarding ADA. Any other discussion on that? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
and I'm abstaining.
Abstained, thank you, all right. Okay, we'll move into new business. City County Planning Board recommendations, so for the Hill Scott variance, if you guys had a chance to take a look at it, this is actually, I just talked to our building inspector, and they've dropped this request now. They're gonna go ahead and they're gonna just be in compliance, they're not asking for a variance any longer. So this one's a fairly easy one, we don't
have to discuss it.
no, it's a moot point at this point. They've already, in fact, I think they've already paid a fee to redo their plan on that. So it's good to go.
Okay.
Okay. Honeydew 22 downtown cleanup. Alex, did you have anything on that?
Yeah.
All right. It's a good name.
It is, I like that.
Sorry, these didn't make it in the package.
Yeah, we've got it.
Did get it.
Oh, we did get it, yeah.
Do you want another one?
Three more.
Are you gonna talk?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay. I'm not gonna read the letter to you because hopefully you read it yourself. So, are you guys wondering what Honeydew 22 is? Have you heard of it at all?
Nope.
Okay, so a couple of you have. So there was a Reimagining Rural virtual series held in February of this year, and Hardin was one of the members. I think there were 22 communities that participated, Hardin being one of them. And from that, we created the Honeydew 22 based on community feedback. That is 22 projects to be done in Hardin within the next, between now and the end of the year. And so a couple of projects have already been completed. 22 is representative of our county, Hardin being the county seat, so that's where the name came from, and then Honeydew as an easily done projects with minimal funding. So Friends of the Depot, which I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, I've come here for Little Bighorn Days, that's been reinstated, and they're working with Montana State University Extension Office, Bighorn County, to get this initiative going forward. So we have a steering committee that I do have listed on the back of the letter. There's a couple more members that are involved, but not officially on the committee. So we want to do a community cleanup. We have already received $1,700 in funding from Reimagining Rural to host a downtown community cleanup and to buy the materials that go with it, like the trash bags, the gloves, those things. And then also to do a mural in the area. And so we're still working on the mural. So this request specifically, and I've already talked to Mike about it, is just for large capacity dumpsters and trash containers. And then I did include any other cleanup supplies that the city might have. We also will be reaching out to the state, since that is it's one of the state right-of-ways. So we will be working with them as well. And I know Tina, who's also on the committee, has worked with them in the past to do like the Toluca cleanup and things like that. So they've been very generous in the past providing materials as well. So that's the request coming from Friends of the Depot. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve. I guess would it be easier thus to have the garbage piled up and we pick it up with a truck?
So Mike and I talked about that.
Okay.
Do you want me to talk about that, Mike? Okay, so, because we did talk about that, and I think that would be appropriate maybe further down Center Avenue, and not in front of any restaurants. Because it's going to be Saturday and Sunday, and so it won't be picked up until Monday, potentially. I guess I don't know when Mike will have his guys go out, but just to not have it like right in our downtown area. We also discussed having some of the orange cones or the candles kind of placed And that's where people can put their garbage bags, so they have like a central place to put them, instead of them just being down the road.
So you're taking alley cleanup to Main Street?
Yes, just the downtown, and then it'll go over 2 blocks. And so we're not doing like major items. This is just community members going out and picking up the garbage that's already present and inviting other community members to be a part of it.
Just in the designated blue.
Yeah.
So like sparkle cleanup.
What was that?
But like sparkle cleanup.
Essentially, it's like Operation Sparkle. Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Smaller.
Yes, much smaller scale.
So Clayton, we have a
Second.
motion on the floor. Does your
Second.
motion include a, number 1 and number 2, the requests on the letter then?
All of them, yeah.
Okay.
I'll back it up.
We got a second. Just want to clarify the motion. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to approve the Honeydew 22 downtown cleanup project as per written by Friends of the Depot. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Wanted to bring this to council's attention and the public's attention. So there's the land for the water tank. It's being sold and it's being offered up, and to get in, there's an easement on it already for a water tank up there. We thought it'd be best if we owned the land. They're just liquidating the land. I don't know if you want to share any more on that, Michael, but
I don't know if I've got the exact numbers, but I'm trying to remember. I believe we secured the easement in 1958 for $439 to erect and maintain the steel tank up on the hill, which is the older tank closer to town. I believe the entire property was somebody's property, and then they sectioned off that little section when we got that easement. And like the mayor said, now they're wishing to sell that property. They essentially can't do anything with it. Our easement is forever up there, but so we could purchase that property and own that property outright completely now for this price.
Is that including extra property or a new tank we can talk about? Or?
No.
We had a chunk up there that we got from Mr. Hammond.
We do.
So it's just the
his,
fenced area
water
around the
service.
steel.
this is only for that, just that fenced area off with
Oh,
the
I
tank
got
in
you.
it.
Okay.
That's all we're talking about
And
here.
that sum was $3,000.
3,000, and there was a brokerage fee of $585, and then we'd split a closing cost, and then I'd recommend we get title insurance just because
Sure.
anybody
Oh, yeah.
in a will somewhere, we want that to be cleared so that the ownership is true and there's not somebody coming out of the night that, that's usually
Yes.
based on the sales price, so it'd be fairly minimal for insurance.
Well, I think that it's only right that we buy the land. I mean, I think that it should be a no-brainer. I'll make that motion
Okay.
to go with the land purchase.
Yeah, and I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the land purchase for the area at the water tank. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Thank you. Last on the list here for new business is police service aid. So that's going to be, you need to get the lights off of it and decals, and use that for animal control, code enforcement, and those kind of patrols now as separate from the police department. So it's basically just to transfer this vehicle. This is not didn't need a resolution because we're not selling it to another entity. It's just from basically a general fund to the police, the public safety fund.
Should we have those, instead of removing those lights though, if his code enforcement would maybe switching the lenses from blue and red to yellow be more appropriate? Or just a cautionary need?
I don't know that they can do that with those. I mean, that might be more of a cost than you'd want to.
Could be.
And they're usually one bar. I thought about that as far as like if you could leave just a construction light or a hazard light, but
Right.
it has the normal hazard lights too.
Okay.
But I don't know that those can be removed. I can verify that, but
I don't think they can.
no. And I think those could be in. I don't know which vehicles but you can use those on other vehicles too.
Yeah.
The one from the pickup we pulled off, And the interim chief said that we could use those for another vehicle. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you get.
So which vehicle is this that you're?
This is
PSA.
it's the PSA, the one that ran around and said,
Oh,
police service aid
Okay.
vehicle. It's pretty low cost. It's I think it was like around $2,800 for the transfer.
So, I'll make the motion to approve the police service aid vehicle purchase.
Second.
It's just moving from general fund, or
Kind of the same thing with the truck going to
yes,
public works.
exactly. It's a lot lower cost though. Yeah.
Are we gonna re-flag it or with code enforcement?
Yeah, we'd
animal
have to have
control?
new logo. Well, at least City
New
of Hardin.
stickers.
Yeah, new stickers.
Yeah.
So that would be
Put
we'll
on
have to look at where we're getting our current stickers and decide on what we want there. But yeah, it'll be a little more basic. It's not going to be all the police decals.
It's just, it'd be good for him to have something that, declares that he is code enforcement,
Right.
animal control, that when he rolls up, people understand what he's doing.
Yes.
I think that'd
Yeah,
be good.
that's part of the plan. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded.
Talked about.
Yep. To move that from the police, the public safety fund to the general fund for the movement of that vehicle to code enforcement, animal control. Any further discussion on that? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Thanks. Staff reports. Michael, Public Works.
I have nothing.
Okay. Finance, Drew.
We got a few things for finance. One of them, we received our final pay or request, I guess, for funds from the pilot grant for year one of that program. That was almost $95,000. And then also down below, you'll see in resolutions and ordinances, we are applying for a RRG, so Renewable Resource Grant from DNRC that would help fund a stormwater PER to look at our stormwater fund and see what projects we need to do, how we can improve it, how it's impacting, surface water, whatever it's impacting right now. So the total for that project is $61,000, and the grant would pay for $65,000, and the grant would pay for $40,000 of that project. Other than that, I don't have anything today, so come prepared on first meeting in September.
Yeah, be a little more packed on that one. Thanks, Drew.
Yep.
Interim Chief Needens is out tonight. And legal, Jordan, did you have anything for legal?
I don't, thank you.
Okay. And economic development, Tina?
I have nothing for tonight.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, we'll move into resolutions and ordinances. So we've got resolution number 2448, as Drew just mentioned. Any other discussion on that?
For the record of this grant, because minutes have to go with the grant, the total project is $65,000. $61,000 is what the cost of the engineer will be to help us do the plan. The other $4,000 is a match from the city as far as our wages and time put towards helping them gather information, do on-site visits and things like that. So that extra $4,000 is kind of a match from our wages that we're putting towards this project, just so that's clear. So $4,000 from the city plus another $21,000 in actual cash match to Staley Engineering, and then the grant would pay for $40,000.
How long is it gonna take to put this together, Drew?
I don't know that they gave us a timeline in that scope of work. I would imagine at least a year. This hasn't been done in a very, very long time for stormwater, so it might take them a while to get everything put together and come up with a plan.
So what do we need this for exactly?
So this is authorizing Riley basically as the mayor to sign for that grant, to apply to Renewable Resource for the grant. One of the stipulations in there is we have a commitment letter, which we already do, but it's kind of vague as far as authorizing us to sign for that. So I thought it was best that we just put this resolution on a council agenda and we can show this through the resolution that it was approved as well.
And we need this report to obtain grants in the future, or what?
Just this grant specifically.
Just this one here.
Just to
Stormwater
facilitate
cleaning.
studying of.
This is the
stormwater
assessment
system.
to assess the need, what our needs are in full for stormwater.
What our needs are and what the current conditions are too
Yeah.
of our
Yeah.
current system.
It'd be
Yeah.
it'd be a big report. Very large.
Yeah, it will be.
I think
I'll
with
make the
all of our
motion.
past problems with stormwater sitting in our streets when we have a huge storm and not being able to dispose of it and it backing up into people's basements, I think it's very needed to be done and come up with a future plan to get rid of water in a better way.
All right.
So I'm
I'll
gonna
make the motion for resolution 2448.
Second.
Okay. Been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 2448. Any further discussion on that? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries.
Can we have another voice vote on that, please?
Yeah, just if you want a roll call.
Just an overall.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
fine.
Can we just take a new vote on it? So moved and seconded for the 2448. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Yep. All right, moving to public comment. If anybody has any public comment for tonight?
Oh,
Am I jumping in front of someone?
Well,
Okay.
you stood up first. There you go.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for having a moment for me. I'm from the library, Annika Reisner, the director. I'm bringing with me a fall guidebook for all the wonderful activities that we're hosting at the library. So much so, I just put it in print. I'm also going to be handing out our bag, which I hope to see you all soon filling with new books at the library. We've got a ton that we've been processing. On top of that, we'll be hosting a Silly Chili event where Bill Hodges will be making his special chili to help fundraise our gutters and our windows, which are in extensive repair and need to be fixed soon. So we're going to be hosting that Silly Chili event. We're also going to be hosting a book sale too in September, so mark your calendars for 9/3 and 9/18, and then of course a pancake social here in November. All the information is detailed in that guidebook. If you have any questions, you know exactly where I'm at. Thank you guys too for your
Thanks a lot.
support. We appreciate you.
Any other public comment tonight? Okay. Moving into announcements, employee anniversary. So Stefan Peters, 8 years, and Chris Schneider, 21 years. Congratulations, everybody, on that. Again, the new website, hardinmontana.gov. Montana spelled out. And then our email addresses, it'll be the same prefix, but at hardinmontana.gov. The old one was .mt.com.
So with that being said, like if I need to email Drew, it would be his name.
City Finance at, so the same exact beginning.
When is that going to get updated?
Right
on the
now,
website?
it's live.
No, when is it going to get updated on the website? Because I looked at Mike's and Mike's is his old one on the website.
Oh,
That'll get it.
Okay.
that can get changed pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would his be then?
Public Works at Hardin, Montana, spelled out, .gov.
Okay.
Same prefix. So if you have your old contacts saved in, and the other thing on that I'd like to tell you guys is check your spam folders, because we have had reports of just things that have gone to spam, like, hey, did you get that? I sent it 3 days ago. And there have been just randomly, and sometimes they'll get it and then 2 or 3 days later it went to spam for some reason. So certain people's email, you can't control what everybody's email does, whatever service they use. So just check your spam folders and maybe save some contacts in. Start doing that with the .gov, and that would be helpful for you probably. So public hearing for the increased rates and charges for the users of the water system, Tuesday, September 1st at 5:45 here. Public hearing for adopting the final budget for 26-27 and setting mill levies, assessments, and user fees, Tuesday, September 1st. Also, that'll be 6:15 right here. And then City of Hardin job openings, full-time police officer and general laborer for landfill. Anything else for the greater good? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
One question, we filled code enforcement, animal control, and that position's starting.
Oh, I should have announced that. Maybe Monday it's gonna start. So, yeah,
We'll have his car ready by then.
we're hoping.
So whenever they get to.
Monday the 24th.
They can borrow
Good
your truck, right,
clarification.
Mike?
Okay, been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Who seconded that motion? I didn't catch that.
Clayton did.
No, I made it.
He made the
Clayton
motion.
made the motion.
It was probably Steve.
Steve was second. Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned, 7:18. Thanks, everybody.
Change your name.